Hello and welcome. Do you want to see another one of those videos where someone completely drains and transforms an ocean monument? Well, it's your lucky day because I wanted to do just that in Minecraft Hardcore. This video literally took me more than 70 hours to make, so if you do enjoy this video, please go ahead and subscribe. It only takes you a second and it's a really easy way to support me. Let's show YouTube that hard work still pays off. My name is Knut, and let's get started. I've stranded on this tropical island and I have set up camp here with some equipment. We have lots of potions, water breathing, lots of potions, night vision. We have some TNT over here. We have some beacon equipment over here. And we have a plan. A plan for 4 phases: to conquer, to drain, to farm, and to transform. And the beacon is actually going to be quite handy. We will be using the beacon to get strength 2, because with this sweet guy that took me, come down here, that took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to get, with impaling 5 and strength 2, we can actually one-shot the guardians, as you can see one over there right now. Let's head over, and there we have our first guardian. Let's head over and set up this beacon. Oh, we have actually multiple already, so we need to be careful, but I think we should be fine to set up some blocks here and be somewhat safe. And we're safe. We're safe for now. That was a lot closer than I thought, but we should be good now. I think we are set and done. Strength 2. And now we should actually be able to one-shot these guardians. Let's try this. Let's head out a little bit so that we don't fight too many at once. No, it's not working. I did test it. I did test it. But somehow apparently it is not working. And I'm not entirely sure why that is the case. So that was a fail. We will not be able to one-shot those. I think that's still fine. We have a few other tricks up our sleeves. Alright, let's head back in there. And I think this time we're ready to take on all the Elder Guardians. And for that, we will use a little trick. We will use some TNT, place some sand on top of it, and now place a button and explode the TNT. And because the TNT will be inside of the block of the falling sand, it will actually explode and destroy blocks. And here we are with the Elder Guardian, with the first one already. And inside we're actually a lot safer as well, because there's so many more walls that we can hide behind. And we have killed the first Elder Guardian. That was really easy, wasn't it? Apart from dying almost twice. Let's explore this further. This seems to be the entrance, isn't it? Even though they are not one hits, it's still a good thing to have the strength 2. I think it's still good to just be a little bit more relaxed, be able to kill them quickly. And here we have the second Elder Guardian. And I think strength actually doesn't apply to ranged attacks. So going melee with the trident is going to be better here. Still looking for the third Elder Guardian. Here we are. And with that, I think, actually, we have finished our phase 1. Although I think this was the easiest or the least time-consuming. We can hang up our trident until we go back out there. Let's head over and see again what phase 2 is. We want to drain. We want to drain the ocean monument, and that is not an easy task. We will need sponges, and we will need lots of sand. But first and foremost, we need to remove all this kelp, because kelp is the enemy number 1 of draining ocean monuments, because it's going to destroy all the sand blocks. It was now time for me to equip myself with the trident again and clear the ocean monument of all the kelp. And it actually went quite well. Whenever I found a line where I could hide slightly, it wasn't even that dangerous, and I only got close to dying once. I have now set up the first few rows of my sand wall building machine credit goes out to Ilmango, as it does so often. I will link his video about automatic wall builders down below, but the principle is not that complicated. We will have a clock here. If we turn it on, this piston pushes and we get more sand into our inventory. The sand will be falling to the ground of the ocean, and as we have removed all the kelp and seagrass, we won't have any issues there. And once it reaches one of these corner pieces, it will actually push into this direction, or already over here. And then we have these extenders. We will have to have these extenders in a very short distance over here, just because we have the side pieces. But on the long line, we can have them every 10 blocks. And we can have this for the whole area, but I wanted to start a test run just to be safe that everything is working. So let's see how we're going with this. I have prepared 3 shulker boxes of sand, by the way. I have the feeling that we will need more. Let's turn this on and see how it's gonna go. That didn't work out. Now we go. And the first corner is working perfectly fine. Right now, I'm holding my right mouse button, and that can get tiring quite quickly. So the trick in Minecraft Java is to reset the resource packs, and that's usually done pressing F3 and T. And if you hold the right click button and then leave it, it's going to keep clicking the right click. And right now my hands are free. I'm not touching my mouse, so I will stay like this for I don't know how long, and we'll check back again later. And one more small little thing, if you're playing in single player, it actually matters. If you press F3 and P, you can change the setting for pause on lost focus. And if we disable this, I can actually tap out of the game and it's not going to pause the game. The first test went decently well, but before I could continue, I had to collect so much more sand. And I was a little bit tired of collecting all the sand, so I decided to drain the inside of the ocean monument already, which is one hell of a task in itself. I couldn't put it off anymore though, so I had to go into my mining desert again. And as you know, I use Etho's favorable trick of using TNT for mining sand. And I gathered another 4 shulker boxes of sand. We have, I think that's 3 or 4 complete double chests filled, and then this one. So I hope that's gonna be enough. I think I'm ready to just fill my inventory, start this, and AFK for the next, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes. Well, look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? I just find it so fascinating how you can build a machine in Minecraft just with redstone components to make something amazing like this. Now it is time to drain the whole area. And we have to be a little bit careful with all the guardians inside here. But I think we should be doing fine. I think many people actually suggest, let's put on my chest piece. Many people would suggest to leave gaps of 4 blocks, but I have actually decided to use a gap of 5 blocks because the way I'm doing it, I'm just going through the middle with a helper block, in this case warped wart block, and then I will just place the sponge, and with my hoe that has efficiency 5, I can insta-mine all of this back again, and this is actually a quite fast way I found to remove this water in these 5 wide gaps. I've just gotten to the end of the first row, and now I will leave sometimes a gap of 2, sometimes a gap of 3. I think in this case 2 should be fine. And I'll just do the same. I step on here and we do the same process. And once we're done with this second row, we can just walk down the line and harvest the row above us, and we can collect all the sponge without any issues, without it falling into the water. Let me turn on the hitboxes so that I will always find all the sponges. But from my experience, this is quite reliable that I'm actually picking up all the sponges and don't have to worry about them. In total, I have 62. So after I remove all of this, but I think I have another row or 2 of placing sponges, then I have to go back to the nether and we do the whole thing again. And I have to be careful because whenever I'm on the other side, guardians will spawn on this side. So before I go down, I try to kill at least a few of these guardians. I guess it is the fate of working with sponges in the water. I lost one, I'm down to 61, but I think that should still be quite enough. Just this 1 or 2 more sponges, 1 sponge to go, and we are done with our first slice, or are we not? Wait a second. I have already done most of the other slices. I cannot get a good view right now, but once you start grinding, it's sometimes easy to just continue and go on and go on and go on. So we actually only have 1 slice left to do. And that's also the reason why there are so many guardians. Right now there are not that many, but probably once we go down here, there will be so many guardians annoying us. But we are almost done. And now it is time to take down all of these walls. And you probably know the deal. We just take a torch and try to place it quick enough, and then all the sand falls down and just immediately gets destroyed. Not like this, I have to be quick enough. Also not like this. I think in this case I was too quick and the sand didn't update. But this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 20 or 30 minutes. Getting rid of all the sand, at least in the inside. And then we can, I think, move on to phase 3. It is now time for phase 3 to farm. And let's actually take a look at the ocean monument in all of its beauty. This is how we are looking right now. We have it all clear, and this side is always amazing because you just know how many hours have been put into this. And you can see a little sneak peek inside already. I have started. These things will extend upwards even more, and they will be the 2 cubes that all the guardians will spawn in. And with the soul sand, they will all be sent upstairs, and then in the middle they will fall down, and this is the area where they will fall down. Going down here, we will be able to kill them here and actually get lots of XP as well. And we also have a bubble waiter upstairs again, and all of this obviously is not is not beautiful yet. Let's finish these boxes, and I don't think I'm gonna fill in the water yet, but I'm gonna use my second favorite etho trick to use ice. And when we break the ice, it's gonna create a water source. And if you have 2 ice with like a hole in the middle, it's gonna create an infinite water source. So this is quite useful, especially with the soul sand. It's really difficult to use a bucket to place all the water. So I'm going to place all the ice. I'm not gonna break it yet because I don't want any guardians spawning yet. That, I think we're almost done. I didn't only build the cubes, but also this tube that connects to the very bottom layer. And I also added some water in there so that when the guardians will fall down, they won't die immediately, but I can actually kill them for the XP. Let's head up and see what else I've done. So as you can see, I also finished this middle part, which really wasn't difficult. It's just some open fence gates, some glass as the floor. But here we will have the way of transporting the guardians to the center. We will be placing water over there, and we can actually do that already. It should end up evenly if we've done it correctly. And I think we've made a mistake. This last line of the prismarine is where the fence gates go. And this will actually allow for the water on the top to actually go over the fence gate. And then the next water in the middle will be placed here. And down there we can see some guardians already. And now we have the water on the top actually going over the fence gates. So now the guardians will be moved much more easily, much quicker. We will have to open all of these, but I don't want to do that now because I don't want to fall down there yet, or at all. More or less by accident, I realized if I just place torches like this is also gonna affect the light level, obviously, and it's gonna cause the ice to melt. So we don't even have to go inside, which could be quite dangerous, as there are already plenty of guardians down there. So I will just go around, place lots of torches, and hope that sooner or later all the ice is going to melt. I have not yet opened the fence gates, and I have not yet removed the prismarine. I'm thinking I'm just going to poke holes from the very top. So this technique seems to be working quite fine, and it should only be minutes until we can actually try this farm without having like a sorting system or a proper killing area, but it should be working. It's looking good. All these guardians, very nice. Let's head to the very bottom of this. We can stand here, and if we actually hit the guardians, we can also kill them, but as you can see, we're taking quite some damage. We're being pushed back. We're also getting plenty of XP. I think we are more or less done with the farming situation. Making all of this look nice and functional is going to be part of our last phase. One last time, we head over to our camping site and look at what phase 4 is. Transform. We want to transform this whole area, and you can already see some spoilers maybe if you look very closely. As I have mentioned in an earlier episode, I sometimes need to be doing a few things off camera. And this few thing didn't just take like 1 or 2 hours off camera. This was, I don't know, 2 or 3 days off camera. All of this cyan stained glass was like 3 or 4 shulker boxes. I didn't have any dye, any blue dye left, so I needed to go mining. I didn't have any green dye, so I needed to have a makeshift cactus farm. But here we are, and I think it looks quite pretty. But what we need to do now, as all the guardians fall to their doom, is to drain this area as well. And this time we're gonna do it manually. I have all the sand that was extra, so let's fasten many hours of my life into a few second montage once more. We have another progress update, and we are done with half of it, I think. We have done 2 of the 4 quarters. As so often, I completely underestimated how long this takes. I have been at it for more than 5 hours already. It's always the same with the grind. Beforehand and afterwards, you never really know how long it's gonna take. And afterwards, you always remember how awesome it looks in the end, but never how long it took to get there. That's kind of the good and bad of grinding in Minecraft. But I love it, so I'm gonna continue for 5 more hours, hopefully. And then we can have a big reveal with all of the sand falling down. The grind is done, and as you can see, we have plenty of dried up area. The main mission, as you can see, is connected to all of the sand. I have placed all of these signs and then torches underneath. All of these signs are connected to this log, this sign on this log. So once this log is broken or moved away, all of the signs will break instantly and all of the sand will fall down onto the torches. And I already have connected a redstone line, and I was lazy. I just placed a bunch of observers there. I just have to connect it to here. Let's test this line just to make sure it works. It's a little bit slow because observers have like a 1 tick delay each. So when I use this lever, it takes a few seconds, but it's working perfectly fine. As we have a sticky piston here, it should just extend. So we can connect the power now. Nothing should happen. We can go up there again, depower out of this, and hopefully we will have an amazing view. Let's try this out. Perfect. It's live now. Okay, let's do this. In the bottom left corner. Oh, my frames. My frames. Oh, it hasn't worked. That's oddly regular. I know what happened. Oh, I'm so stupid. Look at this. Or look at this. See, there's water behind there, and the signs prevented the water from flowing down. But once they broke, the water flowed down and broke the torches, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, that's just how it is. That was bad on my part. I didn't think about that at all. So if I had, this would have been a lot more successful. I think we're almost done. We're almost done. Let's see if I can get this Schalke box. Can I? Yes. I have lots of I have lots of black concrete in here. And I will need to use our somewhat working farm to get more sea lanterns and dark prismarine. I have some more black stone, and I think that's all the materials that I need. I think we can finish off this amazing project with one last time lapse as we get out of render distance. Let's do this. One last time lapse and see how amazing this turns out.